Welcome to Cobra Kai Canada. I am your host, Alir, and today I got a good one for you guys. I got Gianni DeCenzo, who plays Demetri on Cobra Kai. Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? Thank you so much for having me. That was an amazing intro. What the heck? I've never been introduced with rave music before. That was awesome, man. That was genuine.
Yeah, man. Cool. I love it too. You know what I mean? It brings a lot of energy to the podcast. I always you know what I mean? So I'm just yeah. But Gianni, thanks for coming on. I've been looking forward to this interview for quite some time.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
For sure. So, Gianni, one thing I love about your Demetri character is those catchphrases of yours. Yeah. Every time I see your character on screen, I'm just sitting there waiting. I'm like, what's he going to say next? And it goes all the way back to season 1. I remember in that little cafeteria scene, the hand job stuff and calling Mitch and Chris Bebop and Rocksteady. And it's priceless, man. I love it.
Thank you, man. When we were filming that, they had a bunch of alt lines that they just kept throwing at me. So I'd be like, give each other hand jobs. And then I'd say we'd have consensual relations, just the weirdest things. I would say early Demetri he was pretty vulgar too. So yeah, love those catchphrases.
For sure. So let's start off talking about obviously the binary brothers. We can't do a podcast without talking about them. So now Demetri and Eli are obviously, lifelong friends since kindergarten. The fans love that relationship between both character. It adds a lot of fun to the screen, the storylines. But in reality, when karate came in both their lives, the two have been going back and forth, like the Roadrunner and Wild Coyote kind of thing. And it feels like you are more bullied by your best friend than, let's say, Kyler.
I mean, it's a close call, especially with Demetri. I mean, he's bullied by just about everyone, but Kyler never broke his arm though. So you bring up a good point. That is kind of interesting. God, I mean, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I don't know. That's I guess Hawk is both.
Yeah, for sure. It's a love-hate relationship, but it's funny you brought up he's broken your arm. I remember you called him out at Moon's party. That was pretty funny. The whole wet the bed kind of thing and stuff like that. That was it makes for good comedy too, right? And it gets a little dramatic too. So best of both worlds, I guess, right?
I think. I mean, I've never had a friend kind of falling out like this before. They've never broken my arm or dumped beer on me. I've never outed them for having wet the bed. I hope no one has any friendships like that. I mean, if you do, you need to you gotta see some of the toxic relationship right there. But no, they make it work. And you said, we both get our jabs in on each other, especially this season. Demetri, he goes in on Hawk. And it kind of cost them a couple of rounds, I would say, but they'll work it out. They work it out. It's fine. It's good.
For sure. Yeah, we'll see how it all pans out in the end. So now, you and Jacob Bertrand, you guys obviously share a lot of screen time together throughout the series. What's it like working with good old Jacob?
He's terrible. He's the worst. Unprofessional. No, he's a really great guy. I mean, it just is one of those things. We never really worked at the chemistry. We never really needed to rehearse it. It was just kind of always natural. And Jacob, he's such a natural kind of a guy, and not nearly as violent in real life as Hawk is. I can tell you. Yeah, he's never beaten me up. I've never beaten him up. We're all good. But yeah, I love working with him. I love working with the whole cast. It does suck though that now that it's come to an end, we don't get to see each other quite as often. So anytime we do get the chance to meet up, we go crazy. Absolutely wild.
That's great. That's awesome to hear, man. So Gianni, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you debuted on Cobra Kai, you were a young lad, weren't you? 15 years old or something around there?
Yeah, I was a sophomore. Yeah.
Wow. So when you landed your role and it first premiered on YouTube Red, now, in your honest opinion, did you think it would blow up to what it is today. It's a global phenomenon. This show.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea how big it was going to be. I definitely didn't think, it was going to be this massive, global phenomenon. When I did it, I thought it was like a cool project. Like, oh my gosh, Cobra Kai, it's a Karate Kid 30 years later. That's really cool. But when it came out and it was a success, I only then did I realize so many people thought it was going to be a failure because they were like, oh my God, I thought this was going to be terrible. It's great though. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad you liked it. But I had no idea that it would go this far or that my character would, go from being this nerdy kind of guy at the cafeteria that doesn't talk to anyone, talks about hand jobs, to now competing in an international karate tournament. My expectations have been like completely blown out of the water. It's been amazing.
Oh, for sure. What a wild ride. I could just imagine. Yeah. So now, like, fast forwarding to like season 6, the Sekai Taikai obviously being the main theme of this, final chapter. Can you like run us through like how you prepared for the tournament? Because the stakes were even higher for you, like to deliver, being an international tournament. You got to work with the best, for example, Master Tony Chung.
Yeah. Yeah, without having them there, like you said, Master Tony, they are like seriously trained decades and decades. They are trained martial arts experts. And without them, we would not be able to do anything that we do on the show. Like seriously, training for us is basically we get there and for just any free time we have, we are in the little makeshift dojo on set, just like training choreography or, doing routine work, just trying to maintain our flexibility, making sure no one pushes anything or strains anything and gets hurt on set, because that's the last thing that we want. And yeah, like we just have such amazing people on our stunt team. They really get us camera ready, especially this season with the, like you said, the Sekai Taikai. There's a fight every single episode, multiple fights every episode. And yeah, without them, I think I would die. I think I would have died. So yeah, thank you, Master Tony. Appreciate you.
So like I heard this like one crazy thing where Grandmaster Tony Chung, he ran this exercise with you guys where he would have you guys like in the circle, and I believe this was season 6. And he would call you guys out to like spar with him, like random. Is this true?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 1,000%. It was terrifying. You're getting called up to fight a master at karate while a circle of people watch you just get your ass kicked. It's great. It's good fun. And you could tell like he was definitely like going easy on us. He was, I don't want to go like super anime, but he was using like 10% of his power on us. Just like we are, the whole objective was we're just trying to be active, staying on our toes, moving around, and just trying to like tap him. I did get one tap in. I did manage to tap him one time, but like I said, he was going easy on us. So, I mean, if he went all out, I think he could take everyone on the show. So
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think he trained Olympians. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was like training Olympic sports. Like I'm like doing this once every 3 months out of the year. It's like I have no chance. Are you kidding me?
I could imagine, man. So continuing here, now I'm going to ask you a 2-part question, and if you can't answer one, just answer the other. Now, of all the seasons, do you have a personal favorite scene you shot? And the second question is, of all the seasons, which season in entirety was your favorite to shoot and why?
Oh gosh. Okay.
I know you had a lot of scenes, so that's why I kind of narrowed it down to like maybe a season instead.
It's difficult because like they all start to blend after a while. Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna say this is easy actually. I think it's my favorite scene and within my favorite season.
Oh, okay.
Season 3. It's season 3 with the LaRusso house fight. That's in season 3, right? Oh God.
Yeah, the brawl at the LaRussos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Like, geez, you guys had so many brawls, so
Yeah,
so
I know
yeah.
they start to blend. Okay, why? I'm pretty sure that's season 3, and yeah, that fight, because it was like the first time I got to do this huge brawl with and I actually got to fight in it. And there was a previous one in a mall where I was there, but I was just kind of like an obstacle in the way. But I actually got to throw punches this time. And I have this fun little montage where I'm like in the hallway and I'm using Bert to like kick other people in the face. I literally pick him up and sweep him across another dude's face. And it was a one shot, so the camera never cut, and it was so technically like strange. I fall down after the hallway. I fall down onto a chair just looking around in horror. And as soon as the camera pans away, I literally take that chair and drag it behind like the cameraman because otherwise he's gonna run into it. And then right before he turns back around, I gotta put it back. So yeah, that was just a lot of fun. And then it's also where like the Binary Bros they made up. They got
Of
back together.
course, that's true.
Yeah, I gotta do that. And then I think yeah, I really enjoy that season because it is really where I got to do a lot more fight choreography. Like for the first
Yeah.
2 seasons, I was just watching everyone else do this stuff, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that looks like a lot of fun. I want to do it. Okay. And then I got to do it a little bit in the mall, but like I said, I was more a prop then. But yeah, season 3, that fight scene, great. A lot of fun. Love it.
I remember there was one scene. I'm trying to remember. I think it was season 4, where you were at Miyagi-Do and they had you like wrapped up in like some like mattress, and they had like tape in your mouth, and they were using you as like a punching bag and stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy, man. What was that experience like? Were they really hitting you, by the way?
Okay, I was actually taped up though. So like if something went wrong and you would just think I'm the best actor in the world because I'm like, oh, I'm in pain. I got my mouth gagged. No, yeah. There's the one scene where I'm getting kicked in the groin by Chris. Right, yeah, it was Chris. And
Chris.
I'm wearing like a special strap to keep me safe. And Khalil, who plays Chris, he found out and he was like, okay, I'm gonna go as hard as I can. Then I'm like, no, what? No, dude. I don't trust it that much. And he went all out. Luckily he didn't get me. Yeah, he went all no. I'm good though. But that was a lot of fun.
Typical behavior. I totally get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got some protection. Let me just hit him as hard as I could. Why not? Right?
He's basically invincible. He's fine. He's great.
Oh boy. So Johnny, so like Demetri went from like a nerdy type kid, who has grown confidence throughout each season, obviously. Demetri, he landed his dream girl, Yasmin. He salsa danced with a hot Spaniard in Barcelona in season 6. And Eli obviously filmed you and got you in a little trouble there. So like, how much fun are you having, with this Demetri character, who went from like a guy who couldn't land a girl to landing girls now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I really like this season, especially because we're seeing kind of a darker side of Demetri, or like what, he's a bad boy. He's what Demetri considers a bad boy. He saw Hawk do it, and it was like, okay, so what? I gotta like change my hair, and then I'm cool, right? So he puts up his hair, and he's just really trying some things, and yeah, he went a little crazy this season, and his buddy did not help the situation at all. But I think it's really fun to get to kind of see this new side of him. And then, yeah, like you're saying, to have the character grow from like a nerdy sort of sarcastic guy to now becoming more confident in who he is this season. Like if you ask season 1 Demetri to compete in an international tournament for karate, yeah, I mean, he'd think you were crazy. And you are crazy, because what the heck, man? That's crazy. But now he's in it. He's competing, and I mean, it's like honestly one of the least of his concerns while he's there. His main concern is like dancing with people and like trying the bad boy thing. That's what he's all about. This is a vacation for him.
Now, in season 6, we're introduced to new characters and new dojos. Just when you think like, how can they top the previous seasons? The creators, John, Josh, and Hayden, they keep overcoming those obstacles time and time again. Now, did you ever think for 1 minute, hey, will the fans eventually get tired of this show?
I mean, honestly, not really, because like you were saying, they always manage to top themselves.
Jeez, yeah, they
For
do.
6 seasons, it's like, how do you do that? Yeah, I don't know. I never had any concern throughout the seasons that the show was going to get canceled or that the ratings were going to go down and people would turn on it, because I knew that, we had a really great thing here. The creators of the show, they're such big fans of the original Karate Kid franchise that the last thing they would want to do is to let down a fellow fan. And we got so many great people in the stunt team, great actors, not counting myself. Yeah, I think it was a great thing. I had maybe blind confidence, but I was confident. And I'm really glad that we're ending the show on our note, on like our terms. Because you never want something to go on like 20 seasons and people are then like, okay, we can stop it now. Yeah, I think we're really ending on a high note. It's bittersweet, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, well said, and I 100% agree with you on that. So now, a few years back, you were invited to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, to do a Comic-Con with Jacob Bertrand and Martin Cove.
Yeah.
You went to a Calgary Flames game and an NHL game. Now, when I heard about that, I was so excited. I was like, wow, these guys, they're coming to Canada and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I couldn't make it because you guys were in the West Coast. I'm in the East Coast.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
can you tell me your experience? Was this your first time in Canada? Was this your first time watching an NHL game? And
yeah,
can you elaborate on this?
It was my first everything. I think I got the best Canadian experience. I mean, I flew in, and then we were doing the con, and then what was that? Our con guy Rick, he had someone that I knew that was like. He was working with the hockey team. What is it? NHL? I don't know how to.
Yeah, the Calgary Flames hockey team. Yeah, NHL team. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so dumb to like sports.
It's okay.
But he had this connection, and we were like, "Oh my god, that's awesome! Let's go." And they were like, "Okay, do you want like a box seat?" And Rick was like, "No, you guys want to be on the ice." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll be on the ice." So, but what does that mean? And I get there, and we are like smack dab right there. I think we were like right behind a goal.
Yeah, I remember you guys were actually like first row, right behind the glass. It was kind of near the goalie net. So
yeah. So people were like smashing into the glass. The hockey pucks were like coming flying. I learned really quickly not to leave my drink like right there on the railing by the glass. It would go down. For some reason, Marty, he left and came back with like 6 ice cream cones. So we had some ice cream too. And then after the game, Jacob and I threw snowballs at each other. It was great. I mean,
great.
I love Calgary. It was really fun. I'm so jealous. There's so many things that film in Canada too, and I've gotten pretty close to getting to film there, but I haven't been able to just yet. Hopefully in the future, because I want to stay longer. The thing that sucks about doing like these quick conventions is that you don't really get to see that much. I mean, I get to meet a lot of people, which is awesome.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't get to actually experience too much. But what I did get to, it was great.
That makes sense. I mean, doing Comic Cons, you're kind of locked in, right? So like depending how long you stay, maybe 1-2 days or whatever, then you just fly back home. But funny enough, you mentioned filming in Canada. Here's a fun fact for you. John, Josh, and Hayden, one of their first films that they ever filmed was Harold and Kumar, and they filmed it actually here in Toronto.
Oh, really?
So this was kind of like their beginning, like their stepping stone. And Vancouver is known for, they nickname it North Hollywood because they film a lot of shows over there and stuff like that. But I would love to have you come like to the Toronto Fan Expo Canada convention. That would be really neat.
I would love to go, man. Yeah, all right, we'll set it up. I'll be there.
Yeah,
Boom.
for sure, man.
I'm there.
Yeah, definitely. It's I believe they do it every August, just before a couple days
Okay.
before Labor Day and stuff like that. So it's something to look forward to. And they always have Cobra Kai guests every year. So like,
Oh,
it's
awesome.
yeah.
Hey, yeah,
So
whenever I'm down. We'll set it up. I'll be there.
yeah, we'll definitely link up. Just let
Yeah.
me know if that ever happens for sure, man.
Yeah, you guys show me.
Oh, for sure. I'll be your tour guide, man. I'd be more than happy to. So every time you filmed a new season, did you ever watch the previous seasons to get an idea of like your character story arc and how to continue and feel like you know how to interact with the other characters you may or may have not worked with, kind of thing?
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, because like you said, it's very interesting. There are some people that I've never had a scene with, and that I won't meet until we do like the premiere, and I'm like, oh my god, hi, I've seen you on TV. Wow, nice to meet you. And so that's always crazy. But yeah, I go back and I do watch previous seasons just to kind of get an idea of where we left off. Because it could take like a year between filming or so.
Yeah,
Except for season 4 and 5. That was crazy. We filmed 2 seasons in 1 year.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
right. Yeah, you guys
I
did.
didn't have to like rewatch any. I couldn't rewatch anything because it wasn't like, I don't think it was fully out yet. I think, but it was insane. But yeah, I'll do my little research. I'll study up, make sure I know everything. Because I'll forget it, all of it.
For sure. And it's sometimes you film so many scenes, sometimes you just want to kind of remember and go back and be like, okay, I kind of want to see this character and see like
there will be like times where I'm filming it and then it comes out, I'm like, oh my god, I completely forgot about that plot line. That's crazy. It turned out great. Or they'll change certain things and they'll completely remove stuff. It would suck if I like went into the next season having this idea of something that happened in the previous season that never actually happened because they cut it. There was this one scene where Johnny is trying to train some of the Miyagi-Dos, and we're on this roof and we're about to like jump over.
Oh yeah, I remember that season.
Yeah. Originally everyone jumped over. It was like this whole big thing where one by one, and my character was the last one to jump. He of course almost falls to his death, but they catch him.
That.
But they edited it to be only Mary or Sam. That Mary who plays Sam. She's the only one to jump across. And it's like, it's insane.
Oh man, that must have been tons of fun for sure. What an experience. Yeah, so now you guys started filming season 6 back in January and completed around June, I believe. Can you give us like some brief details on like how intense filming was for season 6 compared to like the previous seasons?
Oh, it was like night and day because this season was like there was fighting every single episode.
Yeah.
So we were training like crazy. There's this one giant brawl at the end of episode 10, and we re-choreographed that like 3 different times.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was to the point where like I wouldn't know what we were doing until they called action, and then muscle memory just kicked in. I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing here. Great. I'm gonna throw this punch. And we have a great stunt team, so they're very flexible.
Yeah, you guys definitely have best of the best, and the Quan death was a big shocker for all of us fans. So
yeah, dude, us too. We didn't know it was gonna happen until we read it.
Until you guys,
I was so sad, but crazy. I didn't know that murder could happen quite like that on this in the show. So it's great.
Full of surprises for sure. Now, as we prepare for the final 5 episodes in February of 2025, and we go for a landing, in a brief nutshell, how will you look back on all this, and what will you cherish the most?
Oh God, I mean, it was just really awesome. I mean, it's an actor's dream come true to like play a character and to get to grow and develop that character over the course of like half a decade. It was it was really great. And we got very lucky that we had an amazing group of people to work with. There were no divas or whatever, except for me. I'm a diva. And they were all really great to work with. And I hope I get to do something with them again in the future. Yeah, I'm very grateful to have made my little karate family, a family that fights together, stays together,
For
in a
sure.
healthy way.
Oh, that's great, man. Gianni, man, this was honestly an honor and a privilege to have you on here as my guest, man. Like I said at the beginning, I've been looking forward to this interview for quite some time, and this is honestly like a dream come true, man, to have you on my podcast and hear your side and hear your side of the story. It's so fun, and hopefully, we'll meet in person, whether it's here in Canada or whatever, and we'll definitely link up. And I honestly wish you all the best, and I can't wait for the final 5 episodes in February, and we'll see what happens with Demetri and his relationship. We'll see that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would stay tuned. We'll see what happens. I don't know. No spoilers.
For sure, man. I honestly love your character. You it's funny because when I'm just sitting here talking to you, I feel like there's a lot of Gianni and Demetri, so it's a lot of similarities.
I'm not as sarcastic, and I don't get beat up as often, so I'll put that out there. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I would hope not. Yeah. But
thank you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, for sure, man. And once again, Gianni, thank you so much for taking time of your day to come on my podcast. It was fun.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for having me. I'll see you in Canada. We're going to go to that expo. It's going to be great.
For sure. And that is it for Cobra Kai Canada. Peace.